Hello, my name is Rory Ritchie. I'm known as a TCIRG, which is a certified Irish dance teacher. I am the co-teacher at Rose Ritchie Academy with my colleague Patricia Rose, and we are located in Rancho Penasquitos, San Diego, and we teach ages ranging from 4 years old all the way to adults. I began Irish dancing because my a little girlfriend in school asked me to come to Irish dancing with her, and I thought I had no clue what it was. It was such a small, tiny little world back then. So I came to class with her one day, and the awesome thing was that Irish dancing was right at the bottom of my hill. So I literally walked to Irish dance class. A month later, my little friend who asked me to join her dropped out. She didn't like it. And I was in love with it, and I was awful. I sucked. I was like the worst dancer, and I didn't think I would, last. I thought they would kick me out, but I was so determined to just achieve in Irish dancing because I loved the way it made me feel when I was dancing. In high school, I had many ideas of what I wanted to do. I did want to be an Irish dance teacher, but that was kind of a fantasy out on the side. And my Irish dance teacher always told me that no matter what, go to college, get your degree first. And if you want to become an Irish dance teacher, awesome. But if you don't, you'll have a degree to fall back on. The deciding moments that made me want to know what I wanted to do was when I was at my last competition of what I was competing at as in the adult level. I did a two-hand, and I think I did my treble jig, is a hard shoe dance. And I did well. I think we got second in our two-hand, and I won the treble jig, but I sat there and watched all the little students I used to coach and assist with in their classes, and I was more proud of them and how they did, and more excited and more scared and nervous for them than I was for myself. So that's when I knew. Was it hard to get students? Well, the school I came in, I was brought up in, there's only 30 students in our entire school. And it wasn't until 20 years ago that they came out with what we call Riverdance in Ireland. And then Riverdance spread like a storm, and it went across the world, and it showed what Irish dancing was to the world. And it became super, super popular. So the school I came in had 30 students. To the school that we run now has about 180 to 200 students. It varies. So it wasn't hard to get students because of Riverdance and Lord of the Dance, which came afterwards. But there are times where our student rate went down, and the best way we actually got students was to do Irish dance shows during St. Patrick's Day time all around San Diego. So we go to elementary schools, public libraries, private parties, just a bunch of places. Because of that, showing what we do and our cultural, and I talk and make it educational for the elementary schools as well. We get a lot of students because of St. Patrick's Day. And a lot of it is the way I got into it is word of mouth. Your friend starts and they want you to join them, and it's something new and unique. Then we definitely do word of mouth. We don't advertise at all except for doing St. Patrick's Day troops. My biggest supporter, oh my goodness. I would have to say my husband, Colin. So he doesn't support me in that he doesn't Irish dance, but he supports me in every single other way. There's so many ways that I need his support. So he actually tailors his schedule around mine, even though he's the breadwinner. He helps me with any electronics needs I need. He makes sure I have a very good running, working computer. He helps me with St. Patrick's Day time. Last year we had 77 shows within 2 weeks. 77. So he makes sure he goes with my kids, and my kids do Irish dancing, so he goes with their troop and makes sure they get dressed and whatnot. My kids, their sacrifice is big because being the teacher, I can't spend the individual time on them that a normal parent who isn't a teacher is. So my husband is what we call the Irish dance dad, and he helps them with all that stuff. So he supports me in any way other than dancing in my studio, but he's a really good guy. My favorite part of my job is teaching a student something new that they've never done before, and watching them learn how to do it correctly and actually do it on their own. My biggest achievement, I think, is right now. I co-own a studio, an Irish dance studio, with my colleague Patricia Rose, and currently right now we have about 180 students that range from ages 4 years old to adult level. And our students aren't just there to learn Irish dancing, but they all help and support each other, and we're a big family community. So just having my own successful studio is quite an achievement. Sacrifices I've had to make. Growing up Irish dancing, I came from a family of there's 4 kids, so we didn't have a lot of money. So we had a sacrifice where I didn't get to go to competitions very often, and our costumes we handmade ourselves. And knowing how devoted I was to Irish dancing made me I didn't go out Friday nights. I was at my studio the whole Friday night, and so I made a lot of sacrifices instead of hanging out with friends, I did Irish dancing instead. So that was growing up. Sacrificing now, my family kind of gets hurt here and there. I'm constantly traveling to going to competitions, spending extra time with students. Luckily, both of my kids are in Irish dancing, and I have a very supportive husband. So our family supports my job, but I'm not the breadwinner of the family. My husband is. And so they pretty much live at the studio that I'm at. So it's definitely a community raising kids, but mainly I would prefer to be at home with my kids and raising them, but it's a sacrifice we have to make because it's my job. It's worth it to me. What has helped me the most to get where I'm at? I'm gonna have to say my confidence due to Irish dancing has helped me become where I'm at. So growing up, my parents both worked, they were both engineers, so they were never at home. So there was a lack of attention for us kids. We had to do a thing. We were very independent, but Irish dancing gave me that confidence to be independent and to know that what I did was so unique, and I got a lot of attention from it. So it made me stronger as a person. The hardest part of my job, I would say the parents, dealing with the parents. The parents that put their kids in Irish dancing care about their kids. The parents care about them because they pay extra money to have them doing extracurricular activity that they normally wouldn't have to do. So because of that, because they're investing money in their children and time and getting them there, they really care about their kids. But on the other hand, I do have those parents who feel that their children are perfect, they could do no wrong. So when I reprimand a kid, I get a parent who gets very angry with me. Also, Irish dancing, the more advanced you get, the more money it costs. As a leader in our studio, I know that I'm dealing with 400 or 500 people. That's the parents and the students, and I'm not gonna please everybody. And so that's a hard call. I try as best as I can, but there are times where I have to stand my ground and tell the parent no. And if they don't like it, then there's 4 other Irish dance schools in San Diego I can refer them to. Who inspired me the most? You know what, it was my Irish dance teacher. She had the biggest influence. Even though she wasn't teaching me academics, which in a way she was, I had her for my whole life. I started Irish dancing when I was 6, and then I moved off to college when I was 18. So 12 years of my life, I saw her 3 to 4 times a week. And so what she said to me, I would take to heart because she was like a second mom to me. And because of that, that's why I just love my job so much, because I want to turn around what she gave to me so that I can give to my students. How do I define success? Well, that's a hard one. There's so many ways you can define success in Irish dancing, like who's your top student and what have they accomplished in Irish dancing. There's a thing in Irish dancing called the World Championships, and that is like the Olympics in Irish dancing. So you compete against the top 1% of all Irish dancers in the world for your own age group, and try and do the best you can. Try and trying to get in the top half or even get on the podium. And I could define my own self and my accomplishments and success for Irish dancing with that, but that is not the case with me. I define success as how many students love what they do. And that's our first and primary goal in Irish dancing, is not just to try and become a world champions. That's a second priority. To us, a first priority is that you love Irish dancing so that you will hopefully do it forever. And maybe even teach your own kids how to do it, because it's such a beautiful cultural, dance. Even if you're not Irish, it's something that we hope our students pass on to their kids in generation because of how much I love Irish dancing.